We respectfully request the Sangha great virtues for the sake of this assembly and all living beings. Please turn the wonderful Dharma wheel to teach and guide us how to end birth and death, leave suffering and attain bliss, and quickly realize non-birth. Cung thính Đại Đức Tăng Thịnh, vì thứ Pháp bồi cập nhật thiết chúng sanh, tịnh chuyên diệu phạm luân giao đạo ngã mùng, như há liêu sanh thoát từ ly khổ đắc lạc, tất chứng vô sanh. Homage to the Blessed, Noble, and Perfectly Enlightened One. Nam mô Sa Đan Tô Sư Chế Đô Ye Ở La Hờ Đi San Miao San Pu Tô Xế. Nam mô Tát Đa Tha Tô Già Đa Gia A La Ha Đế Tham Miệu Tham Bồ Đà Tọa. The unsurpassed, profound, subtle, and wonderful Dharma in 100,000 million aeons is difficult to encounter. Now that I am able to see and hear, I will receive and maintain it. I vow to fathom the thus come one's true and actual doctrines. Wu sheng 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 wei miao fa bai qian wan jie nan zhao yu wo jin jie wen de xiao qi Yuan Jie Ru Lai Zhen Shi Yi. O Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, Great Master Qingliang, Great Master YongHua, all good monks and nuns, and all good known advisors, Emitofuo. 诸佛菩萨、金良大士、师父、上人各位、出家人各位、善知识、弥陀佛。Chư Phật Bồ Tát, kính thưa Thái Lương Đại Sư, Thượng Tọa Hoa, quý thầy cô và các vị thiện sư Thích Ca Di Đà Phật. Hello everyone, today is the 25th of July 2025. Thank you for joining our discussion on prologue to the Avatamsaka Sutra. We're on door number 2. It's about the stores and the teachings containing it. And we're on slide 1444. We're talking about the 5 classes of teachings that Great Master Xian divided the Buddha's teachings into. He's finishing up on the first one, which is Hinayana teaching. Hinayana teaching is basically, it's a small vehicle. It's a beginning for beginners. And yet it's incomparable in terms of beginner's Dharma. Okay? Where are we? Are we here? This section here? Okay, very good. So, you ought to know this. This section, Master Qingliang explains it for us. It only speaks of the emptiness of people, although it briefly states the emptiness of dharmas, even though that is not made clear.
但说人空，纵少说法空， 亦不明显。
Although, even though it's too many, although, see, 但处人工想想一个亦不明啊。See, although and even and all this is anyway is English translation. What do I know by English? Okay. So Master YongHua says the door, the Shastra that's written by great Master Vasubandhu, the great vehicle Shastra to the door of understanding 100 Dharmas is about understanding the minds of the people. Okay? Buddhism is about understanding the minds of the people. So first here, he started by saying Hinayana Dharma, or the small vehicle Dharma. It has 74 mind Dharmas, 75 mind Dharmas. And now to go to graduate to big vehicle Dharma, you increase those Dharmas from 75 to 100. Okay? So in other words, the Mahayana teaching is a lot more complete. And how so? He says that when you talk about small vehicle dharmas, he said that the Hinayana people explain it as empty, analyze the dharma, and so they analyze these dharmas until the discussion of unconditioned dharmas. And so he talked Hinayana people. They talk about emptiness, but they really don't quite penetrate the dharma of unconditioned. Okay, he says here, this even though you talk about small vehicle and you may look down upon it, but actually it's critical. In order for you to practice the Buddha Dharma, you need to empty the self. Okay. Know that it's not easy to do. When you're trying to empty the ego, empty the self has been in existence for since beginningless time for most of us. Therefore, it survives. It went through a lot of tests, and it somehow survived and thrived. Okay, you don't want to underestimate the ego. How well it can adapt to all conditions. Okay, but so that's why in Buddhism, the first thing we start to do is look at the ego and find a way to empty the ego. We are in English, destroy the ego. Okay, it's aggressively destroying the ego, and the Buddhists call it in a very elegant way. Elegant way is to empty the ego. Actually, you can't really empty the ego. You basically have to destroy it. You have to kill it, if you will, because especially for us, our ego is so strong, so powerful. It's everywhere, everything. It touches everything. It is everywhere, touches everything that we do. Okay, it colors everything we do. It's everywhere because everything is under the control of someone else. Someone is someone's ego. Okay, so it's everything and everywhere. All right, so it's rather challenging. And so in the Dharmatic age, like in our times, destroying the ego or emptying the ego is not that easy. And people are not willing to empty the ego. Okay? And so, but that's why not many people are interested in cultivation anymore, because they say, why do I need to cultivate? I don't need to cultivate. I'm happy. Okay? I got what I want. And so you really don't cultivate until what? Until you begin to see the suffering. That you are suffering, and that the more you run away from suffering, the more it follows you everywhere you go. Okay? It's not just you, for monks too, for us. Okay? If wherever we keep on running away from our suffering, complain, for example, that master is a mean person. Never, not you, but some of them. Okay? And feel that way, and they run away, and some of them run away all the way to Australia to teach kangaroos. You still can't get away from the fact you hate master. Okay? So it follows you everywhere you go. Okay? So it's very, very difficult to talk about emptying the ego, destroying the self. Okay? However, those of you who have the blessings, meaning that you, even though you're suffering, but you refuse to be a victim of your suffering. For ordinary people, they ignore the suffering. They look the other way. They said, I lived like this my entire life. I can't change. Okay? Actually, they look further. They should realize that they've been living like this for many, many, countless lifetimes. Okay? And they've been resigned to it. They don't want to change. Okay? They suffer, they endure the suffering, but it's never for them about the ego. They never could believe as the ego, which is truly the source of the suffering. For those losers who left, I never got a chance to tell them that. They always blame it on someone else. Your suffering is because you're a victim to your own ego. Doesn't matter where you run away, what you do, your ego follows you. When you teach your children, and you spread it to your grandchildren, and that's why people who cannot find escape anymore. But there's no fear, if we cultivate, eventually those people, when they have their blessings mature, they come and they say, okay, I'm suffering. What can I do about this? Can I meditate? Can I recite Buddha's name? And they do that. It takes blessings, by the way. It takes a lot of blessings of them to be able to meditate. You don't ever underestimate that. It takes a lot of blessings to be able to cross your legs. It takes a lot of blessings to be able to, in spite of the thoughts in your head, it says, no, I'm tired, I have a long day today, I don't feel like coming to the temple. Besides, the last time I came, that nun there is very nasty to me. Never, our monks are never nasty to you, by the way. Not true? Anyway, so this is what happens. People talk themselves out of coming to the temple. Okay? They don't realize the ego who actually talked them out of it. They always come up and excuse the ego is very, very clever. It finds excuses so convincing for you to remain a victim to them. Okay? To the ego. Okay? And so, in particular, as Master Xinhua says here, even though some of you are able to empty the self, they still, the Hinayana people in particular, still have an attachment to dharmas. Meaning what? Let me spell it out for you. These Hinayana people, very specifically, give you one example and you can generalize from that. These people, they are tired of the ego. they fight the ego and say, I'm gonna not allow the ego to control my life. I'm gonna free myself from my ego. So they empty the ego. They kill the ego. Okay? And they learn it. They manage to do that by meditation, by reciting mantras, by reciting Buddha's name is all possible. Many, many ways to kill the ego. And then every time that the ego acts up, they said, oh, no, let me meditate. Let me recite Buddha's name. That's how they control the ego. That itself, that knowledge there, okay, is what makes them stuck and not progress to the next level. They're attached to that knowledge that they empty the self, and therefore they can rise above all the afflictions, they can rise above all the nastiness of the people around them, okay? And they realize that there's a Dharma behind that, and that emptiness, you use the Dharma to rise above everything, that's the only thing that matters. That's called attachment, that Dharma. Got that attachment and that knowledge that you must empty the ego, that you can empty the ego, and you should empty the ego when you're afflicted. And they can do that. That's why they're stuck with that process. They're afflicted, okay? And they say, I don't know. This is too much. Today is a bad day. So they empty the ego. Everything is fine, okay? So now they're stuck to that process. It's subtle, and they don't realize it. That's why they have the potential to be stuck forever. It's very scary, folks. It's forever. I use the word forever. To kill the ego is fine, is wonderful, but there's a danger where you can be stuck by attaching to that Dharma forever. Yes, 3.
Thank you, Master. I have 2 questions. The first question is just related to what you said about this attachment to the Dharma. What will be the right way to do? And the second question is, when we reincarnate, does the ego also reincarnate with us? Thank you.
You cultivate, and eventually you get rid of the ego. The Buddhist cultivation program is designed to help you pin down the ego and then go for the throat. You take a knife and you go to your ego. Okay? So the man you are, you may have spent a lot of money doing plastic things, but when you get to the ego thing, the last time you have to cut your head off. So all the plastic surgery up here is useless. Never mind. Okay, so you follow these recipes. There are so many ways to kill the ego. So each master has their own style. My master has a different style. Okay, I have a different style. Okay, they are more traditional. We are a lot more Americanized. Okay, so I say that because the track has been laid, has been established already. So it's nothing new. We've been doing for 20 years already. And what's the second question?
The second question is, does the ego...
Does it reincarnate? The ego is just the ego. It's not, the ego does not reincarnate.
May I ask a follow-up question? What exactly being reincarnated?
Who gives a damn about reincarnation? You have your ego, kill the ego now. You're focusing on the wrong problems. I told you about the ego. You need to kill the ego. Your question should be, how should I kill the ego? Why do you worry about the ego reincarnating? You're pursuing, you're chasing your tail. Doesn't matter. You just find a way to kill it. If you can't kill it, then what's the alternative? Go to the Pure Land. That's all. You don't need to talk about reincarnation or the ego reincarnate. It doesn't matter. Okay? You're barking up the wrong tree. Anyone else? Okay. So you still have an attachment with Dharma. Okay. Don't worry. Okay. This is very general terms. I want to tell you there's a concept here should be leery of, is that there's an attachment of Dharma, especially for Hinayana people. I don't care. You don't worry. You don't think it's only for the Thai or the Vietnamese or the Tibetan and so forth. Okay, it happens to Mahayana people too. Because in order to get the Mahayana, you need to go to Hinayana. Okay, all the Mahayana people need to build up and build a foundation. Part of the foundation is to kill the ego. So it doesn't matter. It is something we all have to do. Okay. Only difference is that in Mahayana, in particular, for us, I'm watching out for you because I'm very concerned that you have Dharma attachments. Because I see it, but you don't. Okay? Okay, you too.
네, 입소 정인아님의 질문입니다. 아미타불 마스터, 안녕하세요. 저희들에게 자비를 베풀어 주셔서 진심으로 감사드립니다. 오랫동안 혼자 수행하는 거에 지쳐 있을 때 20대에 읽었던 아미타경을 오랜만에 다시 읽었는데 다음날 불교 방송을 통해 선사님의 정토 법문을 듣게 되었습니다. 그 절묘한 타이밍에 놀랐고 처음 들어보는 법문 내용에 환희심이 일었던 기억이 납니다. 힘들었던 삶이었지만 그 힘듦이 없었다면 저는 아마도 수행을 하지도 않았을 것이고 윤회의 괴로움과 그 위험함을 느끼지도 못했을 것입니다. 지금 이렇게 거룩하신 선사님과 승가를 만나게 되어 제게도 기회가 생긴 것 같아 너무도 기쁘고 안심이 됩니다. 지금은 나이가 들어서 처음 수행할 때 그 설렘과 열정은 많이 줄었지만 이렇게 지내다 세월만 훌쩍 가버릴까 봐 다급한 생각이 듭니다. 질문 드립니다. 초발 심시 변정각에 대해서 자세한 설명해 주시길 부탁드립니다. 뜻은 대충은 알고 있지만 제대로 이해하진 못하고 있습니다. 선사님과 스님들께선 무더운 여름 건강하게 이겨내십시오. 입소 합장.
Hello, Master. This is a question from Ipso YongHua. Thank you for being compassionate towards us. When I was very tired of practicing by myself, I happened to read the Avatamsaka Sutra when I read back in the days when I was in 20s. And then the very next day, I happened to hear your Pure Land Dharma talk from the Buddhist station. I was very surprised about the timing, and from your Dharma talk, I remember I was very blissful. So I suffered a lot this life, but without this suffering, maybe I wouldn't have practiced, or I wouldn't have known the suffering or the danger of the reincarnation. So being able to meet you and the Sangha, I feel like I also have a chance to practice, so I'm so happy about that. And now I'm very old, and the enthusiasm I had when I first started practicing has decreased a lot. But I'm worried that I will just pass time by. So this is my question. I want you to explain about, this is a verse from 法性觉, that when you make first time the Bodhi mind, it is enlightenment or it is a start of enlightenment. I know the meaning vaguely, but I do not fully understand. Thank you so much.
It's nothing to understand. This is my approach. My approach is different from the Chinese. The Chinese and Koreans and the Vietnamese try to understand too much. And as a result, they waste a lot of energy. Understanding, let me put it this way for you. Understanding is only as deep as your level of samadhi. So the more you spend time investigating, trying to understand, the less likely you are to penetrate the meaning. So that's why sometimes I see people going the wrong direction, I will scold them publicly. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of efforts. You're barking up the wrong tree. There's no need to do it that way. The Chinese, for example, let me give you an example on slide 1457. He says, the last sentence here on this slide, Master YongHua says, this is very Chinese. The Dharma pertaining to people are called obstacles or afflictions. That's correct. Whereas the Dharma pertaining to the Dharmas is as known as obstacle of the known. Okay, that's correct too. But I don't talk like this. I don't teach like this because it's meaningless to you. It gives you a false sense of knowledge. You don't really understand this at all. All you do is, the Dharma pertaining to people is the Dharma affliction. Dharma pertaining to Dharma is called the obstructions of knowledge of the known. Yeah, so what? All you hear is words. All you do is regurgitate words. And what happens is you keep on collecting it like the Koreans, like the Vietnamese, like the Chinese, okay? You end up with a lot of knowledge, which are really becoming obstacles of the known. Don't you get it? You haven't got rid of your obstacles or afflictions yet, and yet you burden yourself with trying to know too much. That's my problem with you, with the Asian approach to Buddhism. It's all knowledge. They talk and talk and talk and talk. And yes, they understand, they throw words, they have a good jargon, they have a good vocabulary, they have a very solid foundation of sutras and shastras they've read. But it's all knowledge that becomes a burden to your cultivation. The flip side of it is when you do it our style, is I only give you only enough knowledge. And when you behave like Jumi, I would snap you out of it and say, hey, don't go there. I'm too old to be wasting my time with you. Because that knowledge is not necessary for you. So snap out of it. There's no need for you to know that, because that's only knowledge which actually becomes baggage for you in your cultivation. It makes it harder for you to kill your ego. He's talking about it here. know so many sutras. I can explain so well these things, and this pertains to you professors, to you Dharma masters. I've read so many sutras. I explained so many lectures the last 20 years, last 30 years. It's all knowledge. I don't like it. I only want you to know enough so that you have the minimal obstruction of knowledge that can help you overcome later. Because the more you know, the more you start questioning me. You say, how come, like Jumi says, 10 years ago I said so? And she actually remembers. Would you believe it? What I spoke 12 years ago is something totally stupid. Should we discard it? But no, she says, no, what Mashi says is always true. No, it's not. So it's true then. Not true now anymore. Okay? Whatever you know, throw it out. Yes, 12 years ago I tried to prove to you I understand a lot. I could understand a lot. I do know a lot. But as I get older, I become more impatient. The more I give you knowledge, the more you are not moving. You're so much heavier to move now. You're fat with knowledge. You're obese with knowledge. You look skinny, but actually you're obese. Yes, in the back. What do you want? Knowledge person.
Master, then should we still listen to your Dharma lecture back then?
Of course, you should listen. But then when you ask me the wrong question, I will slap you in the face again. Meaning that whatever you listen is fine. But for now, okay, drop that. It's a middle way. You should know, but then you should drop it when you tell you to. Yes, K-YouTube. I haven't answered the YouTube yet. No, let's not go to K-YouTube. So this guy, this old man here, I think he's old. He says, I'm tired. I can't cultivate much longer anymore. Okay? So I'm losing faith or whatever. What is the problem, XP? What's his problem again?
I think it's a she.
Is she? Okay, what's her problem again? She.
She feel like she would meaninglessly pass by her time, this lifetime, because she lost her enthusiasm when she first started the practicing.
Okay, because she's really having no fun in cultivation. Can I brag a little? I look at you when I see that most of you, the overwhelming majority of you, enjoy cultivation because you're making progress. When you make progress, it is addictive. It feels good, it feels better and better and better. Yeah? When you lose faith, it's because you're not making progress. Meaning you're stuck on your ways, in your ways. You only believe in yourself. That's your problem. Okay? Then the only thing you have is either turn to Catholicism. Oops, that was mean. Turn to a different religion, okay? Or stick to Buddhism and go to Pure Land. Amitabha Buddha will take care of you, okay? Very good. Thank you for asking the question. Okay, YouTube.
Thank you, Master.
Admit it. I look at you and say, wow, this guy's happier. That guy's happier. This woman is happier. Husband is not happier. But husband, not my disciple, not my problem. Yes, okay, you too.
네, 김예송님의 질문입니다. 안녕하세요. 직장 내에서 업무적으로 실수를 했을 때 그 업무와 관련된 사람들에게 필요 이상으로 공격을 받는다는 느낌을 요즘은 종종 받곤 합니다. 이럴 때 저는 억울한 마음이 많이 올라오는데 그런 제가 너무 어리석고 바보 같아 보여서 결과부자를 하고 앉아 사람들 몰래 데뷔주를 들으며 어떻게 해서든 가라앉히는 방법을 사용하고 있습니다. 완벽하지 못함에도 사람들과 좋은 관계를 유지하며 조직을 지혜롭게 굴러가게 할 수 있는 방법이 무엇일지 마스터께 지혜를 구합니다. 감사합니다, 마스터.
This is a question from Ye-song Kim. Hello, when I make mistakes at work, I feel like I'm overly attacked by the people who's related to this work. And this feeling happens very often. And when this happens, I feel very upset. I feel resentment. And when I look at myself, I feel I'm so stupid. So I cross my leg and recite great compassion mantra secretly. And I try to calm myself down. I know I cannot be perfect, but how do I maintain good relationship with these people? And how do I roll this organization very well? I seek for your wisdom. Thank you, Master.
It's too complicated. I don't know. I need more details, very specific. You need to talk about one instance at a time. That's how you can learn. But it seems like she's able to, is it she or he?
Sounds like she.
You cannot tell from a name in English.
Name
Most of the
is
time we
she
can tell.
Sounds young, very young.
Okay.
Ye-song.
First of all, okay, we all make mistakes. We all do. Doesn't matter how young you are, how old you are. We all make mistakes. The difference for older people who make mistakes, those people who make mistakes and live to be that old, is because they can survive the mistakes they made. That's life. You see? So clearly what she's doing right now is to cross her legs when she feels afflicted, feels unhappy about it. That's how you recover. The things in life about making mistakes, about suffering is that, how about bad things that happen to you, is that it's bound to happen. Bad things will happen to us. We're going to make mistakes. It's not about not making bad things happen. It's about recovering when bad things happen. When your wife divorces you, how quickly can you recover? Okay? When you make a mistake, it's about learning to recover from that. You first learn to recover. Number two, you learn how to avoid making mistakes in the future. Okay? So I'm impressed that this young person already knows that and found a way, that is, you cross your legs and don't expect it to go away right away, your affliction. And you get afflicted because you're hurt. That's natural. You keep, process very simple. You keep crossing your legs, reciting Buddha's name, reciting mantras until it goes away. Keep on doing it. And if you do it long enough, you develop the skills to recover faster. Meaning at first time you had to cross your legs and recite, let's say, a mantra, great compassion mantra, may have taken you half an hour, may have taken you an hour before you could recover. Okay? But make sure that you keep on doing it until you recover. You keep on doing it every single time that you're afflicted and you have a chance, you cross your legs until you recover. Okay? So you're building you're building up your recovery speed every single time. And you make yourself stronger, and you're not as afflicted when you are criticized, when you get in trouble. So it's about one affliction at a time, one instance at a time, where you make sure you cross your legs, you recite sutras, mantras, until you recover. As long as it takes, as many times as it takes. Okay? You sit down, cross your legs, and you think about, oh, this affliction I have because of that. Okay? And you recite until that no longer afflicts you. That's how you learn to build up your recovery speed. Okay? See, there's no other way, by the way. You could go talk to the therapist and say, and lie on the couch there and talk to this person. All you do is releasing, distracting yourself. That's all. The affliction is still there. And all they do is keep on talking to you. Whereas when you meditate, you'll be able to recover a lot faster, because recovery speed is you, no one else. You cannot depend on anyone else. Okay? So she's doing the right thing already. That's number one. You learn to weather the storm and recover faster. That's your chant skills, that's your Pure Land skills, your mantra skills. Okay? All the skills that you're being taught, that you're honing right now by coming to the temple, by signing up to our classes, is that will be useful for you in your daily lives, at home, at work, everywhere. Okay? That's point number one. Again, I remind you, it's not about not getting hurt. We all will get hurt. No two ways about it. Especially, not to our surprises, we got hurt from the people that we love and most care about. They're the ones that end up hurting us a lot more. Okay? It doesn't matter. It's not about not getting hurt. It's about how to recover quicker when you get hurt. Does it help? Grow up. Don't be a sissy and say, oh, how come I'm so afflicted? How come Master is so mean to me? Come on, don't be such a pussy, such a puss. Is that a puss? Is a word? No? The Taiwanese are upset at the use of the word puss. Don't be such a puss. Okay? Come on. We're all going to get hurt. Stop blaming others for hurting you. Be a man. Recover. Huh? Learn to recover faster. That's all. We all will recover. It's a matter of time. Except that now what makes you superior, a superior person, you know, you have the skills, you have the instruction, you have the resources to help you develop the skills to recover faster when you're hurt, when you get in trouble. Okay? If you like this, please subscribe. I'm taking no question. I'm busy getting subscription and double like. Please, it will help so much. Yeah?
Speaking of, we have a YouTube question.
Forget it.
Okay.
We don't need to be polite to these people. You know what's the problem when they like you is that you need to keep on answering them. No matter how stupid the questions are, if I yell at them the way I yell at you, I'm going to lose subscription like crazy. It's no win situation for us. Okay? Hang in there. Okay, hang on. Okay, I have a couple questions here. Okay, let me finish my point. I'm not done with my point yet. I'm trying to buy time. Okay, so number one, you recover. Okay, number two, okay, you use mistakes as to learn. I make mistakes still, believe it or not. I still make mistakes every day. And people laugh at me, especially my disciples. Oh, Master, you could you believe it? They still laugh at me in my face. He said, no, not yet. When you become a nun, that's when you learn all the bad habits. Okay, all the nuns are always laughing at me. Master, it sounds like an attachment to knowledge. They use it against me. Looks like you still have an ego, Master. Good Lord. Okay, so we all make mistakes, the point number one. Number two is that own up it. If we make a mistake, own it. And be prepared to suffer. Be prepared to be punished. Stop whining. Okay? Own up. Say, yes, I'm sorry. I screwed up. And you make sure that you try your best to learn and ask them, or if you cannot figure it out yourself, you can ask them how to avoid making the same mistakes again. That's all. Is it clear? We all make mistakes. Just don't make the same mistakes again, over and over again. If you do, she's a woman, right? You get married. Quit the job and get married. Okay? All right, I hope it helps. Okay, I have two questions next. No question? Okay, go ahead, you two.
We have a YouTube question from Diego Alfonso. It says, Amitofo Master, I have a question about the anecdote from the Chan talk for Asia. How can we be appropriate Dharma vessels so we can be Dharma heirs and not just wait marinating until we are ready? Thank you, Master.
You try your best, that's all. You can't say, I want to be an heir, I think I'm worthy to be an heir. We all get what we deserve. And you need to depend on the Master's wisdom to decide that. Yes, in the back.
Emitofuo, Master, thank you for getting me back again. I was running away, and then I got back from your opening lecture. I have some questions regarding two things, yesterday and today. Yesterday, when I was sitting about 20-30 minutes away, I suddenly felt my whole body felt really good, almost like no blockage. Everything, the chi was floating really good, and I also feel really good. And that lasted like an hour. I never had that before. And then later on the day, I also felt my body seemed to be lighter. What was that? If you mind to tell me. And that was one thing.
How can it only happen to her, never happens to me?
And here comes next, Master. Don't worry. And then today, as I just was downstairs thinking about that, then I become depressed. And I was crying inside my eyes thinking, 8 years, Master. 8 years for something
How
good
depressing,
to happen.
Yeah. Is that the USB camera, or how come I see two cameras? Oh, that was broken again. We spent so much money on the broken one. We fixed it again. And it's broken again. Wow. I'm so afflicted. I feel like crying. What was it again?
And then also another good thing seemed to happen. Yes.
Why 7 years?
8 years, Master.
8 years?
And then another good thing seemed
Listen,
to happen.
kid, it could be 10 years. How about 20 years? She's even pretending to cry. That's a horrible
I don't have a
act. Yeah. I didn't believe it for a second.
Well, another good thing happened also. So I was complaining in my head about Venerable Senshin's class because it's supposed to be good and I didn't really feel much and I tortured myself to go. Yesterday before
you don't,
that.
you know, when I'm here, you go down and teach, right? Or you don't teach? Saturday morning. He doesn't know what day it is. No, Saturday when I'm here, you go down. You here? Okay. Not time to be lazy. We all have to go to work.
Thank you. And then, no, the night class, and then I was complaining, just couldn't, I was like, what's good about it? I never failed. And then somehow when I finished, I was able to make it for the whole 3 hours, and then I went at the end. For some magical reason, I just had a thought to myself, oh, it was good. I got something really good out of it.
Yeah.
But I had no clue what was it.
Yeah, me neither.
Thank you.
Don't think so much.
So what happened to me yesterday, Master?
Don't think. Stop thinking about yesterday. Here you go. Okay, anyone else? Yes.
One Korean lady, the first one, she asked about the bring forth the body mind, how it related to enlightenment.
Oh, I never answered it. No, I answered the first question about how do you what about enlightenment? Okay, sorry. Thank you for reminding me. When you bring forth the body mind, okay, let me put it in very simple terms for you. When you bring forth the body mind, okay, you basically are a Buddha. It's a matter of time only. Because once you bring forth the body mind, basically the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas know, and they will invisibly, help you to become enlightened and become a Buddha yourself. Imagine, just think about how many people have decided to bring forth the body mind. Not that many people. So that's why you're among the select few, the ones who said, I would want to become enlightened, I would want to become a Buddha. You are among the select few, and the Buddhists and Bodhisattvas are aware of it, they will help you. Okay? That's all. It's a matter of time. And that's a connection. And so depending on your conditions, depending on your circumstances, you will be guided in how to get there. All right. Did I miss anything else? Yes.
We had a YouTube question from Jampa Sampton. She says, Amitofuo Master, I have a question about the process to become a monk and if possible. Thank you, Master.
Well, you have to consult the staff there. I don't think I accept disciples anymore. Maybe they do. Okay, thank you for the question. Okay, for all practical purposes, okay, I want you to know on slide 1457, I would not talk like this, like Master YongHua, okay? To me, this is not necessary, okay? But I want you to be exposed to this because it's a concept I want you to hear about and throw it away because it's no big deal. Don't be so attached to all this knowledge. I want you to be aware of it, because in the future, when you meet with others who would throw jargons at you, you can know what they're talking about, but you don't need to be as attached as they are and try to show off like they do. Okay? We will not engage in exhibiting our knowledge and exhibiting in how better we are, okay? It's not for you to show off, because you show you have no wisdom whatsoever. That's why you still are a show off. Okay? So understand the concept, this is correct, but I want you to understand the difference between Master YongHua and me, the Chinese and American. The Chinese, they still stuck on knowledge. I'm trying to avoid you being burdened with unnecessary knowledge. Because why we're here? We're here because there's so many of you now, from low level to high level. That's why I need to address all your needs. High level, yes, you need to know this knowledge so that they're not going to be able to trip you when they come and throw questions at you. When I first started 20 years ago, people used to come to me from Master YongHua's disciples and then from all the temples. They come to me and ask me a question to show that how much I learned from the Master. Okay? And for some reason, I don't come anymore, because maybe I have this reputation of yelling and calling people stupid. And it's true. But it's not necessary. Next, 1458. Anyone is a mark of self has afflicted some sort of others. Now afflicted over fame, get afflicted over profit. Afflicted over country, over your family. And now afflicted about Korea, you are over family, over neither of those, afflicted by the body. Okay? So we have all sorts of afflictions. It doesn't matter what. It's too many. You don't need to worry about country, Korea, Vietnam, America, MAGA. All those are afflictions. It shows lack of wisdom. If you afflict it, it doesn't matter what the reason is. Get rid of it. Period. Unless it's your wife, then you better not get rid of it. First things first. Okay? Get rid of the other things. Afflictions of all plans, strategy, calculation, or sick of one's body. Because, how do I new ones? How do I get a red car? I can get more donations. I get a bigger temple, and so forth. Okay, and so that's what ordinary people do. Nothing new about this. And they keep on tormenting themselves and feeding their ego so that the ego becomes more entrenched. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with doing things driven by your ego. What's the only thing you should be aware of? You just be yourself, okay? But what you don't want to do is what? I know, you're just egotistical. You're plotting for yourself, you're scheming. See, they talk like babies here. You talk like the babies. You plan for this. You want a washer dry, you want a new clothes, you want a car, you want. That's what everyone does. It's okay. Embrace it. What shouldn't you do? I'll give you some time to think about it. What shouldn't you do? If you are Buddhist. Only for Buddhists, okay? You're non-Buddhist, we don't care.
Master, I remember that one time you say us just don't deny it or reject it or doubt the Dharma.
Very good, excellent. Don't deny it. No, I'm not. I'm getting the washer dryer for the family, not for me. I'm doing it for you. Ching, halo behind my head. A Catholic saint. Huh? Cut it out. Okay? Stop. You're not fooling anyone. You're only trying to fool yourself. We're a lot smarter, a lot more intelligent than you think. We catch on pretty fast ourselves. You try to fool us? Try to pretend? A few times? First few times? Yeah. Fourth time? Only losers can't even tell that it doesn't work anymore. Okay? What else? What else shouldn't you do? Again, only for Buddhists. Okay? What else shouldn't you do? It's critical. Okay, if you cannot make a guess, I will not tell you.
Hello.
7.
Not to doubt real good knowing advisors.
What?
Not to doubt real good knowing advisors.
That's not possible. You always doubt. You say, I believe you. I never doubted you for a moment. Have you heard of it before? It's like, I told you, what does it sound like? I love you, I love you. It's worse than I love you. Okay? That's what Catholics do. We don't do that. Okay? You always doubt your good no advisor. What do you mean you never doubt your good no advisor? Baloney. Yeah.
Master, the answer, you should not doubt good knowing advisor. I didn't say that I don't or we don't. Big difference, Master. Thank you.
Yes, DTT. Jumi knows. Jumi has the answer.
마스터께서 마스터께서 일요일 날 말씀하셨는데 선지식과 자기 자신을 속이지 말라고 했습니다.
Master taught us last Sunday that do not deceive yourself and
Did I say that? Where do you read all these things from? Anyone, just for my record, for the record, did I say that last weekend?
네, yes.
You probably did, Master. Somewhere along the line.
What don't you get? About dirty looks. Did I say that last weekend? I don't think so. It sounds self-serving. No, I didn't say that. Don't doubt me. What don't you want to do? Go first, people. I'm going back to the source. I'm going to go through each
Master.
and every one of you until you give me the right answer.
Yes, Master.
Next. What don't you want to do?
Last week,
I agree with him. Yes, Master.
Very original. Next.
we both say the same thing, yes.
Yes, Master.
Okay, let's see. Women are better bred than the men. Okay, woman. Isn't there another woman there?
Master, I would like to confirm, what's the question again?
That's the best yet. Were you listening? You weren't even listening, were you?
Today,
What don't you want to do?
no.
I said that, of course, I know you doubt your good no advisor, but you don't want to do this.
Yes, Master.
You know, that was when, you know what happened to the monk who last did it to me? Yes, Master, yes, Master, yes, Master. You don't want to know. Yes, next person. I do not like yes men.
Thank you, Master. Emitofuo, Master. Well, give me time.
These are jokers. God.
I remember last Sunday, Master say, true to yourself.
True to
And
yourself. She actually was listening. Wow, I'm touched. Okay, that's enough. Don't overdo it.
okay, yeah.
Next one.
I agree with Ling.
As soon as I leave Go Forest, they all become sheep. Bah!
Black sheep, Master. Black sheep.
Okay, I thought there's another nun there. What happened to the second nun? She ran away? You made her run away? No one even noticed. Go back to multiple screen. Who else would like to venture a guess? So much pressure. Okay. That's enough. You guess enough. Yes, too.
I guess my guess is you don't want to violate precept.
Violate precepts. Very good. And in the back?
Master, don't harm others.
Don't harm others. Very good. And one thing I'd like to remind you that the last thing you want to do, especially very true in a Chan temple, okay, is to intentionally mislead your good knowing advisor. It's the last thing you want to do. It's okay to have doubts. It's okay to not believe. It's okay to kiss up to the master and so forth. Okay, that's you. But the last thing you want to do is to intentionally mislead your good no advisor. The Chinese never taught their own that. The Koreans never taught their own that. The Vietnamese never taught their own that. Okay? Let me warn you. It's the last thing you want to do. Because I observed my master. That's what happened. Don't ever do that. You're stupid, I can live with it. But you intentionally mislead, okay, the master, boy, there's no hope for you. You can mislead your father, you can mislead your priest, but you mislead your good no advisor, especially in a child's school, you're done. Trust me, one day you understand. Okay, so there's a lot of talk here. 1460. So when you people are empty, okay, obstacle after the known. Okay, don't worry about it. Obstacle, the known. Okay, that's see through obstacles, afflictions of the known. He says this is very, very fundamental. It's very general. Okay, it's okay. I mean, this is good knowledge, but to me, a little bit elementary. There's no need to spend so much time doing this. Here's the main point of Master Jing Liang. He says, the small vehicle, it actually stresses teaching their followers to empty the ego, empty the self. That's true. But furthermore, it briefly states the emptiness of dharmas. Yes, it does. The Buddha is very, very thorough. He taught that. Okay? But he really did not put a lot of emphasis into it for some reason. That's what the Jing Liang master said. He says, Buddha talked about it, but never stressed it. Very much like my master, Master YongHua. He taught about the Pure Land Dharma door, but he never really stressed the profound aspects of the Pure Land Dharma door, so that's why his disciples never could understand it. Okay? So you cannot say that he did not teach Pure Land, because I read his teaching and said, yeah, that's Pure Land, yeah, that's Pure Land, that's Pure Land, that's very profound Pure Land, but they don't get it. Because it's mentioned casually only. And that's the problem. Okay? So for some reason I feel that he wanted to de-stress the knowledge Pure Land for them, because maybe in a way, that it's time for us to start American Pure Land, because our American Pure Land is a lot more complete than a Chinese Pure Land, Asian Pure Land. Maybe it's a reason, okay? But there's a difference in emphasis, if you will. Okay, his is more on giving you the whole library as much as possible within 30, 40 years he's teaching in the US. That's it, 30 years. That's all he has. So he had to give it very, very fast. At the time, he did it primarily in the early days of his teaching career. So he's very limited. I mean, he taught, you keep on talking and no one asks you the question that shows their level of understanding. They're very shallow. And if they're that shallow, you cannot go into depth because they lose interest, they run away. Okay, that's his constraints. Okay, but we're different. You're different because you have much higher potential. Not making mistakes that he tolerated his disciple to do, and that's why you're a lot better off. And that's why we can go to deeper depth, like with this. Okay, so I look at the way he teaches here; it's kind of shallow. Yes, DTT.
마스터, 마스터께서 선에서 하지 말아야 될 게 선지식을 잘못 인도한다, 의도적으로 그렇게 말씀하셨는데 그게 제가 설명드렸던 선지식을 속이지 않는 것과 같은 맥락인 건지 아니면 좀 더 다른 디테일이 있는지 질문드립니다.
Master, you just told us that you shouldn't intentionally mislead the good knowing advisor. So I want to know, I just mentioned that you shouldn't deceive your good knowing advisor. So is this the same thing, or is there something different, like detailed things that is different?
There's some people who are very sick who intentionally mislead the good knowing advisors repeatedly. You do it once and twice and 3 times, 10 times. Force a habit, I understand. But as soon as you intentionally, the key word is intentionally, that's when you get in trouble. Because you're stupid, you say wrong things and so forth. But when you intentionally mislead, there's something wrong up here. The wiring is wrong. Okay? That's a big problem. Yes, JC.
네, 아미타불 마스터. 저도 비슷한 질문인데요. 의도적으로 마스터를 해하기 위한 목적을 가지고 하는 모든 행동을 말씀하시는 건지 질문드립니다.
Master, I have a similar question. Is it also include that intentionally try to harm Master? Is all the action that has a purpose of harming you?
When you're upset at me and you try to harm me, I understand it. Especially when you feel you've been wronged and I hurt you, okay? Then naturally you retaliate. A lot of people do that. It's a natural human nature, okay? And it's easier for you to see the consequences yourself. It's easier for you to see in that case when you try to harm. Give you an example. You try to harm someone. You try to harm a bully, for example, who's stronger than you, who's bigger than you, and everything. Okay, the reaction comes right back at you. Okay, the bully will beat you up, okay? And bad things happen to you. So the feedback is very fast for you. So it's not, you learn very fast. What you don't realize is when you intentionally mislead your good knowing advisor, the harm is far greater. You're not even aware of it. And eventually, when you become a teacher, then someday you understand what I'm talking about. Because it happened to me. And it didn't end well for these people. All right? We all get upset. We all do stupid things. That's natural. And we all learn from it. And we all, of course, the feedback Okay, it's like when you get angry, you take a fist, you punch into the wall. Yes, the wall is broken, but also your fist is bleeding. So you see the feedback right away. So you learn, okay, so next time I won't punch a wall anymore, right? We all learn from that. So it's easier. The feedback is immediate. The harming, you see it, okay? Quite often. But the other part is when you mislead intention with clear intentions, you cannot see. That's why it's very dangerous for you. You cannot see for a long, long time. By then it's too late. Okay? Yeah. All right. Okay, so he says, the Buddha decided it was not clear, meaning that it's not forever the reasons. When the Buddha taught the Agama, the Hinayana teachings, he didn't make it clear. He says, yes, there's something here, but it's not clear. Okay, but he didn't elaborate on that. Why do I elaborate on these things for you? It's because of your potential. Because if he didn't make it clear, the better one said, that's interesting, War Honor One. Would you mind telling us more about that? Okay? Naturally, either publicly or privately. Does it help? So the Buddha teaches little or a lot depending on the conditions. But Master Ching Liang here says, he talked about it. You guys didn't pay attention, that's all. Just like I said, Master Hsuan Hua talked about Pure Land, but they didn't pay attention. That's why they didn't get the depth of it. No, he didn't teach the whole Pure Land Dharma door the way that I teach you. But he did teach the fundamentals. It's because you don't get it. It's not because he didn't teach it. Yes, go for us.
Emitofuo, Master. I have a question about attaching to the self and then attachment to the dharmas. For me, my case, I read a lot of Master Hsuan Hua teaching. I listened to Master Hsuan Hua teaching a lot before I follow you and then learn the Dharma from you. For me, Master Hsuan Hua is like my idol and the big Bodhisattva, and it hurt me sometimes. I'm more like attached to him, and then feeling that he's my master, so that it make me very happy, and so on and so on. I attach to that and cling to his fame also. So sometimes I hear that you said Master Hsuan Hua didn't do this, didn't do that, and then it hurt me a little bit. It hurt me a lot from the beginning, but then it gets less and less after time. But sometimes I hear Master, you not criticize, but you bring up that Master Hsuan Hua, like he didn't emphasize this, he didn't emphasize that because the listener, that his student is not ready to hear that. I understand that, but then in my mind, inside me, it have also a little bit of a feeling, unpleasant feeling. Likewise, lately in the Vietnamese community, a lot of people badmouth Master, and whenever I hear that, I feel also very uncomfortable because for them, Master Hsuan Hua also their idol, and like a parasite, they hang to Master Hsuan Hua like me. So now the Master sometimes bring up Master Hsuan Hua, the way he teach and the way that the Chinese style and not the style for American, and then for the Vietnamese community, I think they cannot take it. They're very angry and then badmouth master. And whenever I hear that, I also feel very unhappy, very sad. So the way I attach to Master YongHua and Master, is that the attached to the self or attached to the Dharma, or it doesn't matter? That's still attachment.
Doesn't matter at all. If you're afflicted, you need to fix it. Does it matter what you call it?
Yes, Master. Yeah.
But it should not matter at all. You should know better. People are afflicted because they get offended. That's natural. And when they're offended, they badmouth you, they slander you, and so forth. That's natural. It's just being themselves. Why should you let it afflict you? Can't you embrace the fact that they get upset and they need to release it? And then maybe you should all realize that it's hard to please everyone. I think Master YongHua did a great job building a very loyal and devoted group of disciples, okay, who believe in him, who put faith in him, place their lives in him, and help build a foundation for Mahayana here in this country. That's a great thing he did. It's like everything else. If you have plus, there are minuses. If you only want to talk about pluses, then your Dharma is one-sided. And therefore, you cannot blame people. So when people get upset because they hear something that's not is not consistent from what they learn, of course they get upset. That's natural. But that's not the complete Dharma. Of course, when we should be happy, you should be very pleased that they believe in Master YongHua, they believe in Master XX, Master XY, Master XZ, whatever. Okay, it doesn't matter. What they believe in, whatever works for them is good for them. And if they use that knowledge and they disagree with others, master with other things, that's natural. That's part of the learning process. Doesn't matter. If they disagree, they slander, they criticize, it doesn't matter. You should not get afflicted. It's part of the work. Just like my president. You can't please everyone. You so Republican. It's disgusting. You understand? You have to embrace it. Of course, if people like, then they're going to dislike. If they're going to idolize someone, they're going to ostracize someone else. That's natural. Because they're limited. You're limited, that's why you're still afflicted. You're too old to be afflicted. You seem to have not figured it out yet.
Thank you, Master. Yeah. When we talk about our president, then my mind is very clear. Thank you, Master.
See? Even someone he looks up to, there's still people, half of the country hates him. 75%. in her community. Yeah. Just get YouTube.
땡큐 마스터. 이파 김혜수님 질문입니다. 선지식을 잘못 인도한다는 것이 구체적으로 어떤 것인지 예를 들자면요.
This is a question from Haesun teacher. She asks, Master, would you please give us an example of misleading the good knowing advisor?
You have to talk to my disciples. Okay. Pick anyone here and ask them, how do you fool Master YongHua? Especially the one who got afflicted over, over hearing Master Srinivas being criticized, being me criticized. Ask that one, how does he? Okay? I cannot give you specific examples to be blunt with you. Okay? If it's you want to ask, that means it's not you, therefore good for you. And there's those of you who are not asking, that's the one I would be worried about. Okay, thank you everyone. Have a good evening.